Welcome back, fans and friends, for this upcoming video. I have a car I wanted to see that changed the fortunes of a company, and it moved premium, let's just say high performance sports cars into a different direction. I believe the Corvette was the biggest changeover, the last changeover in terms of long line vehicles, and that would be this here. So this design, in my opinion, reflects that mid-60s aesthetic where it went curvy and then it went mid-engine rear-wheel drive. So the car in this video is obviously I already showed it to you, it's the Miura, and it's the Jota version of the Miura. So the Miura was Lamborghini's first, not their first car, but it was their first car that was mid-engined and rear-wheel drive. So the engine is in the middle towards the rear and the car is rear-wheel drive. You balance it out. But the original Miura had a long list of issues: gas tank emptying, unbalancing the car, the airflow making the nose lift up, and other small minor issues. And then the SVR was a production series. There was, I think, between 6 or 7 of them, depending on who you ask. The Jota was a specific version, I believe, by Bob Wallace in 1968 or 1969. He basically turned it into not a supercar, but the next best thing, a road version of the supercar. And then because of the door panels, side gas tanks, it caught fire and it burnt out. Lamborghini never replaced the model, so then everybody wanted a Jota, but Miura was already out of production, so they took them from the SV version, added the R for racing, and then the Jota to it for the wild card. Anyway, we've got a good picture of the back of the car here, and you can see Lamborghini's automobile division insignia. It looks very nice. It looks exactly like the Ferrari one. And obviously this is Tomica Premium. Number 5. This, I don't know, it's been replaced by another number 5. So you can just see that the Premium, Takara Tomy, but it is very, not hard to find, but obviously it's not a normal. You can just walk into Walmart or Toys R Us and they'll have this. This is not, I don't know how limited edition it is because there's obviously no numbers, but you can clearly see it's not something I regularly do. The premium version has this little tag here, and the non-premium versions, which are more common, I do have a bunch of them here, but they're for other videos and I don't want to reference them until I get to it. But obviously there is no, trying to look for a year. That one might be 2010, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to take a quick look at this car. But like I said, the Jota SVR was the not mass production, but more easily readily available version of the car. And this one is, I think, the only one that was converted in such a way. The rest of them will just be regular Miura SVRs. Anyway, taking out of the package, you saw me rip off the tags. And as you can see, there is a sort of, I want to say, bubble butt here just to make the top of this part fit over the back. But I will go over the front of it. So, a few things that you can point out right away. The addition of that's obviously where the gas tank is. We have the front splitter. We have here the spoiler. These are important changes to keep the car on the ground the faster you went. There's a bunch of engine changes. I cannot talk about them without having a regular one vehicle beside it to explain it. But as for Takara Tomy, they have done the insert thing, which I do like. There's the Lamborghini symbol in the middle of the bull. Like I said, the gas cap, nicely done. We have the front splitter. You can just see a little bit of the edges for the red of the car, a little bit rough. On to the left side, I do love the golden wheels and the way they've done them here. There's for the brake exhaust, we have there, can't quite read it. It's very fine. It is kind of legible, but it is just hard for me to read. Anyway, I'll maybe do an update video on that. And you can just see how I flicked that up there. And so while the fronts were inserts, you can just see here it's painted on metal. Nothing on the license plate. Even though the car is fairly unique, you can just see there the hatchback slats for the rear window. And onto the right side, we have, once again, I do believe that is Jota SVR, which stands for Yoda's the bull, and then SVR is obviously special vehicle racing. And once again, we have the exhaust, cooling exhaust for the front brakes. On to the underside, like I said, these cars change their scaling all the time. I have 2 Skylines that I've done from these guys, and this company, and it is 162 Nissan Skylines. So here we have it, 2017, made in Vietnam, a Miura Jota SVR, and there obviously everything important to the car is in the back in terms of mechanical. It is a rear-wheel drive car with the engine on the back. The front is literally just the suspension. So I believe that is why, as you can see there, the gas tank is in the front. Other than that, we can just see how nice and clear it is into the cabin. Look how much detail you get there. The center console, steering wheel, everything else on the left side. So in terms of that, it looks really nice. So I'm going to pop the, let's just say it's the bonnet. It's technically what it is. The hood of the car, it's in the rear. You can just see there. I do believe that's just the parts of the vehicle. I do see, you see there, that little thing. I might be able to slide out this part. I am not going to do it because I don't want to break it. But you can just see there, the engine is mounted transversely. So what that means is because the drive shaft is so short, they can mount the engine like this. That way you balance it left and right instead of putting it like this, where it'll be longer and take up more space inside the vehicle. And you can just see there, each of the cylinders are not, so the engine will be rotating. The drive shaft will come out of the sides instead of the back. And then you mount literally everything underneath and on top. Lancia 37, I believe, if they ever came out with one from Tomica and they did this, would be amazing as well. Because unfortunately, I don't want to talk too much about Lancia again, but they're very hard to come by cheap in 118 scale, 124 scale, and so on, especially their older cars. So here we have it. This is like the near best thing you're going to get. And like I said before, the 33 Stradale from Lancia and the Ford GT40, they follow a very similar layout to this car, except for the GT40 was specifically made for racing, and the Lancia 33, you can't say you made 33 of them, and it's the fastest production road car because there's only 33. It's just that simple. This one, I do believe they built, not a lot, but I do believe they built quite a few. I forget, something like a few thousand. Anyway, it doesn't come to my mind, but anyway, it's very nicely done. Like I said, the one major issue you can see there is just scaling. You can just see how fat the bottom is that goes in over the sides, and that's simply so they can make it. You can see there's a lot of gap, and that's simply so you can make them in large numbers, large quantities, and not have to specifically fit them. It's not like you're popping the hood for some of the other green lights and everything else where you have a lot of leeway. So they just took that step. It's relatively minor. But other than that, it looks really nice. Very rare though, unusually it is not a Ferrari at all. It's, like I said, it's a Lamborghini, Miura, Jota SVR, but it's in red. Anyway, fans and friends, thank you for watching this video on this rather unique car. There is only one of them, SVR Miura Jota. The other ones are just Miura Jotas, or the SVJ version of the car. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Thomas from Toronto, and to the next one.